Happy Ramadan, everyone. Today we're making a dessert, and it's a very popular dessert in the Middle East. It is called Kanafeh. The dough itself comes from Greece and Turkey. It is Kanafeh dough, and the Palestinians, in particular in Nablus, took that dough and used their cheese, which is called Nabulsi cheese, and made a dessert out of it. It's absolutely delicious. However, it's very, very heavy. So today I decided to reduce the amount of fat, reduce the amount of sugar that goes into it, and make a healthy version. So let's start with talking about the ingredients. The first ingredient is this Nabulsi cheese that I told you about. It's cheese very similar to halloumi, but I've soaked it in boiling water first, ditched the water, and then changed it again. So what I'm doing is drawing all the salt out of it. The other ingredients, I talked about this, there's a very thinner and ground version of this. I prefer the coarse version because this has a lot of crunch to it when it's made. And then these ramekins are here for a purpose. Historically and traditionally, the Palestinians make this dish in large pans, and then they grill it on open flames, and then they flip it over. So it requires a lot of muscle. So I do have muscle, but I decided to make them in these small ramekins. So what I'm doing is lining this with butter, not ghee. I like the flavor of butter. And then I'm going to line it with the dough, a bit of cheese, and then more dough, and then a little bit, a sprinkle of butter on top, and then bake it in the oven at 180 degrees. That's my version of it. And then let's start assembling this. So first, let's start by lining these with butter. So I'm going to coat this with a little bit of butter. This is basically half a teaspoon. Look, this is just it. Yeah, that's about it. The second one, I'm using the other quarter of the teaspoon. See how little butter I'm using. This is my healthy version of Knafeh. I hope everyone adopts this version. Now I'm ready to line these ramekins with the first layer of dough, and I'm only using a little bit of this, and what I would do is just line it up to about 1/5 of it, not too deep, just 1/5. It's very important that these ramekins are lined and spread the butter very well, because the cheese is eventually going to melt in there and you don't want the cheese to stick to it. Okay, we're done with the first layer of the Kanafeh or the Knafeh dough. Now I've drained the water from the cheese, I've squeezed the water out of them, and now they're ready to be sort of chopped into pieces so I can use them into the ramekins. So I'm going to chop it into very small pieces like that. I've chopped the cheese and it looks very good already, nice and smooth. I can spread it now on the first layer over the dough. So I'll take the first ramekin and a little bit of cheese, take some of this cheese, so drop some cheese on the first layer of dough, as you can see right there. So I'm done with the cheese layer. So 1/5 of dough, another 1/5 or maybe a 1/5 of cheese, and then now I'm gonna add another layer of dough. It's about 2/5, so I have 4/5, and then the last bit, I'll talk about that later. So let's put another layer of dough now. So this is about 2/5 of the ramekin. Make sure you press all the sides down. This is a very key step in the process because you need to press the cheese and the dough together so they can hold together. So I'm done with lining this ramekin, and now I want to put a bit of butter on top. Don't be afraid to put a lot. There's hardly any fat in this. So I'm going to put about 1/2 tablespoon on top. So I've added enough butter. Now I'm ready to bake these. I'm going to put them in a preheated oven at 180 to 200, and here we go. We're going to bake these for about 10 to 15 minutes, but keep an eye on these because they can grill and burn very fast. The idea is to get enough heat into the ramekin and bake it from down below, and then eventually we're going to flip it over. So in the meantime, I'm going to prepare the simple syrup. It's very simple. It's 1 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of water. It's enough for 3 ramekins. Again, we're making a small version of the large dish of Knafeh, smaller portion. So that's enough syrup. and I'm going to infuse the syrup with a bit of chamomile. So just put a bit of chamomile or put it in a basket and then infuse the water with chamomile. While the syrup is cooling off, I'm going to grind some pistachios in a pestle and mortar. And these are pistachios from, I believe they are from Iran, and they are delicious. So this pistachio, and once it's ground, I'm going to dress the knafeh on top, not so much, and you'll see at the end it's a beautiful product. The knafeh has been baking for 10 minutes. I kept an eye on it, so it's time to take it out. Oh, it looks good. Yes, it's ready to be flipped over. Very good trick. So I hold, flip, and it should release itself now. Yep, beautiful. Look at that. Okay, they look good. They are now ready to go back in the oven for about 5, and keep an eye on these all the time. Just keep watching, because I am now grilling the top. Make sure that they are under your eye. Okay, let's do it. I kept a close eye on these knafehs because they can burn very quickly. So I think they're done. Let's take them out. Yep, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. Can you hear this? So now I'm gonna plate this. So I'll take my best one, and this looks like my best one. Place it in the middle of the plate. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely lovely. And this is the syrup that I prepared earlier. So I infused it with chamomile, and this is the moment that I love the most, is when I pour syrup on top of the knafeh. That should be enough. And these are the pistachios that I grated earlier, they're ground. And I love to dress my knafeh that way. So there you have it, my favorite dessert, it's knafeh. Well, salute to everyone. It's the moment that I've been waiting for, is to eat that. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Okay, let's see how that tastes. Mmm. So good. Mmm. I can't tell you how amazing this tastes. A hint of salt in the cheese, and the chamomile infusion into the syrup is brilliant. So nice. Please try it at home. Bon appetit. Salut. Oh my God, so good.